Now, who got those dresses for them? Is it the mother that went to those shops now and bought those naked clothes for them? Or is it them that could save, or I don't know, or how they got the money to go to the shop and get those dresses for themselves and still come back and wear it in the house and walk out in the presence of the mother?
Welcome to Unfiltered, where we tackle the most pressing social issues head-on. I'm Emanuela Okechukwu. Today, we are diving into a debate that has sparked heated discussions worldwide. The decline in morality, especially among today's youth. Prostitution is now glamorized as hookup culture, and many will go to any lengths, stealing, killing, and selling their bodies for money. Public decency is fading, with revealing outfits becoming the norm both online and on the streets. Even secondary school students openly flaunt their sexual experiences, with teenage pregnancies on the rise. Is the parents to blame, or has social media completely reshaped our values? We ask, who is to blame? Are parents failing in their role, or is social media the real culprit? More importantly, how do we fix this? Joining us in this conversation is Madam Rose Anyekan Atman. She's a Deputy Director in the Federal Capital Territory Administration with a huge passion to help children fulfill their God-given purpose in life. She has been counseling children for over 25 years till date. And our second guest is Madam Oluchi Achi Uzodinma. She is the team lead for Child Shield Initiative and executive of the Child Protection Network FCT chapter, and the secretary of the National Coalition to End Child Marriage in Nigeria FCT chapter. She is endorsed as a global peace builder and leader by the Euphrates Institute USA. Furthermore, she is a distinguished alumnus of the African Civic Engagement Academy at the University of Georgia, a Golden Global Fellow at Gather as Agent for Community-Driven Social Change by Golden Institute, Chicago, USA. She is a coach and mentor at the Tony Elumelu Foundation. She has championed and facilitated discussions on child's rights, peace building, child marriage, and gender sensitivity. Madams, you're welcome to Unfiltered, where we say it as it is. Let's first start this conversation with parents and their role in all of this. Parents are encouraged and expected to work and earn money to be able to take care of their children. So, has the pursuit for this money and the encouragement parents get to make this money influence their children? I mean, what is the role of parenting in instilling the strong moral values in their children, or is the society overpowering their influence on their children?
I can start. First, what is morality? It's being able to differentiate between what is wrong and what is wrong. And when a child grows up, the basic, the foundation of what is wrong or what is right is the parent. So when there is a failure in parenting, the child won't even know what is wrong and what is right. Before school, community, society comes
in.
So when the foundation is faulty, what happens? We have moral decadence like we do today. So for me, 90% on parents.
Well, I want the chief, please.
Yeah, I would also go with her, but I think it's a two-way thing, in the sense that I think parents are the majority, just like she said, 90% of the work should be on parents. But parents are, just like you said, goes out to look for food, to look for money to pay school fees, and they come back. I know they have most of the time to take care of the children, especially growing up, building the foundation, as she said. But at the time, these children tends to leave the parents and
go on their own
into the world. So it's a two-way thing. The parenting has an influence on morals, as well as the public also have an influence on the morals the children is.
I think the parent and the parent gives birth to the child.
Yeah.
I think it's balls more on the parents, don't you think so? When the child is growing, before the child goes on his or her own.
Yes, I said I agree with that, what she said. But at the time, the parents need, so okay, I would want to use myself as an example. Growing up, I grew up from a very disciplined home, and those values have already been instilled in me. So wherever I go with those values. I remembered when I got admission to the university, my daddy took me to for registration and all that. And after everything, paying the fees, registration, getting accommodation, he was about going and he told me, remember where you come from. Remember the home you come from. That means he had given me everything. My parents had given me everything that I need to go out to the world. But look at me facing the world now. I have those values that have been instilled in me. Yes, but I am about facing the world. So I'm not giving it out to the parents alone. The parents are tried at a particular period of time. So it is left for the child to go out. So what influence does the child gets as he or she goes out is what determines what the child becomes at this particular time.
But looking at our society today, I feel it's more on the rise. Immorality is more on the rise. I don't really know how we got to this point where a full generation lack the littlest form of decency. Immorality is normalized to the point that our young youth don't even see any wrong in what they are doing. Prostitution has been rebranded to hookup culture. So at what point did it get uncontrollable?
Okay, let me start off from where she started. Before a child is 10, 80% of who the child is going to be is already formed. 80%. It is. In fact, that's why in education, a child is ought to start school at 6. Why? Because they expected the parents to have imputed all that they needed to impute at those times. So that by the time you go out there, you're already solid. There are a few things, like she said, I never saw my parents, both of them, take alcohol. So when I got into the university, of course, first time freedom, and I had friends that were smoking, drinking, and all. But it never even occurred to me to do it. Not because they carried cane on my head, but because I never saw them do it. So, parents model, it will stay. The influences will come. It will stay with them. So when you start early.
So are you saying the parents that bettered this generation didn't do their work? Because we see this every day.
Yeah, I would say that parents these days, a lot. Children are nannies, TVs, daycares, and you don't know what happens there. So when you're parenting, for those first 10 years, it's necessary to scale back and put into these children right values that they will stay with. It's at the early, by the time you come at 10 and try to do, there's so much you can do. But at those early ages, that's where the impact is. That's where the morals needs to go in.
So the parents are not doing it now.
And you model, it's not what you say, you model. You model. I tell my children, screen time. And when I carry phone, they look at me, Mommy, I'll just drop it and carry a book. It's not what I say. But sometimes I'll tell them, I'm not the one at school. I'm not the one writing exams. So why am I? But I just tell myself I have to model. So I'll drop the phone, pick up a book. So it's not what you say, it's but what you do. What are you modeling to these children? Parents pay for their children, their exams to be written for them. They pay for exam malpractice. When you start, you've given them the right to break the rules.
To continue going that way.
So any other rule can be broken. So for me, it's all about parenting. And there is really no place that you go and they teach you parenting. Most times it happens on you. You see marriage counseling, you understand, but there are very few places that they teach you to, at least in Nigeria, to properly um, parent your child. Do you understand? And even if you're not there physically, you put in people. There are people you can put in around your child that can be proper parents. What is parenting? Influencing, directing. So if I'm not around, I won't just bring anyone around my
To take care
children.
of
I
them.
have to bring in people that will give them good values. Do you understand?
Right.
That will give them good values. So is maybe my mom. My mom is around and available. I know that she will. But I also feel that since they don't teach us, so anyhow, I asked my friend, this is this, how do I do it? I asked my sister, I asked my auntie. There is no proper structure for parenting that when it happens on you, you follow.
What are your thoughts, in line with what she's saying, what are your thoughts on materialistic upbringing? Or should we solely base this on the parent's negligence?
Well, for me, I just feel that majority of our parents, you just asked the question, you said, where did it all
Go wrong, yes.
Where did it all start from? And I'm still on the opinion that children that are being trained and given good value still go out there. I can say I won't give a phone to my child, maybe my daughter or my son, but my son and my daughter still goes out. So here I'm talking about peer pressure. I'm talking about the society they face. So if a parent in this time, for instance, give, just like she said, I go with her, give everything. The parent is always there. There are so many parents that are always there. I work with parents and I work with children. They're always there for these children. They give them all they want, but they still go out to the society.
I agree with you, but
Yeah.
what I'm talking about is there is so much rise in this. Generations after generation, the generation before this one, you can see a little or few of these things happening with them. But now it's like the trend. It's like what they do, they all came out to agree that this is what the kind of life they want to. So that is the thing.
Yeah, so I think one of the influence, one of the things that is causing all this things is just social media and our society. Our society is just this is all about social media. You can stay in your house and you will know what is happening in the whole world. So where did they start? Did they actually, this Gen Z, did they actually come together and say, this is what we'll be doing? Is this the way we want to live our life?
That is the question.
No, they didn't. But the fact is that somebody started it. I wouldn't want to start mentioning names, maybe calling maybe our celebrities or all that and all that. No, I wouldn't want to. But it started from somewhere. And everybody looked at it and said, this is good.
That's how it is.
This is how it started. They look at it, and when you are telling them this is wrong, they tend to look at you as old school. My son will look at me and say, mommy, he's pressing the phone. I say, I want to see what is there. What I just told, I want to see what is there in the phone. He looks at me as in like,
Excuse me?
you understand? So it is obtainable. They saw it, they see it out there, and they feel that it is good. And everybody wants to belong. The bottom line there is that I want to belong. I want to be like my mates. I want to do what they do. So they are not looking at it that this is wrong or this is right. I want to wear what my mates wear. And some of these Gen Zs, they are bold enough to come and say, mommy, please, can you get this for me? Can you buy this for me? I need this. Especially those that have close relationship with their parents. They move to their parents and like, this, can you get this for me? Can you get? So those that didn't have that parental upbringing, they can't go to their parents. I'll cite an example of my daughter's classmate that was being abused. She couldn't tell the mother, but she told my daughter. And why did she tell my daughter? My daughter told her, my mom can answer any question, whatever it is. Tell me, my mom will answer that question. I will go home and tell my mom, she will give me answer, and I will come and give it to you. You can imagine. So there is already a gap. So such child can like, okay, she needs something. She will not be able to tell her parents. She will not be able to tell mommy. She will not be able to tell daddy. She goes to the next
They don't
person
speak up.
to just talk. So I think
So that brings to the
yes,
relationship between the child and the
yes. So
parent.
when the child cannot tell the mommy, cannot tell the daddy, I need this, the child tends to go out. So probably maybe the parents have done everything. Mommy has done
In the past.
everything. He has given the child everything. But then there is an influence. And that influence is everybody is doing it. So why should I be different?
Madam Rose, do you have a different thought on this social media being the biggest enabler
There are young people, there are Gen Zs
that are still
not
living
doing it.
right?
First and foremost, for me, I tell my children, social media, 90% is fake. I've shown them some videos. There's somebody sat on a chair, and by the time they finish, you think the person is flying. You think the person is on board a flight. But the person was sitting in a chair outside they know how to position the camera, and it looked as if the person was on board a flight.
Wow.
Until they wanted you to see how real. Then they came down and I showed it to my kids. I said, most things you see, in fact, when you see something on the internet, think it's false first. Let it show that it's true. Because a lot of what is there is not real. So, and there are young people that they know their onions, they know what they stand for, they know what they can and what they can't do. And like what she said, the way you parent a Gen Z is not the way you parent me. My mom can say, don't go out house. Then my children will ask mommy why.
They want to know what.
Why?
So you need extra.
First, very important, what she said, communication with your children is very, very important. Like when I started my children on sex education, I played a video and I have them talk back to me when they were quite young. And so from there, I was able to sense, okay, what are they learning? What are they hearing? And so we have this talk. And so there is nothing we cannot talk about. Do you understand? So communication is key. Okay. And when that communication is missing,
it won't work out. Talking about indecency, nudity is like the normal trend now. Decency, dressing right is outdated. How did this one start up? Is it also from the social media? Or should we talk about parenting? Because a child will get to a certain age before they move out. You would see how they dress, who their friends are, who they relate with, the kind of life they live before they move out. I believe a child is aged to move out at 18. That is the right age a child. So a child leaving their parents' house before 18, I feel the parents should be held responsible, right? So now seeing these people dressing indecently, half naked, who's to blame on this one?
Something happened. I was just like walking. I'm trying to answer your question. I was like walking, and I passed through a stop, and I saw a dress. Will I call it a dress? Because it's like half dress on a mannequin. And the first thing that came to me, like, who on earth produced this kind of dress from the company and now brought it out to the public? And now this person now goes to buy and now display it for people that are going around to see, passerbys to see. Who on earth? What is that person's goal? What does that person want to achieve? What is in the person's mind? Like, I was just like thinking, is this person out of it? And then these girls will still go there to get it. And just like I said, it still boils down on the society. Because if you don't bring it out, who sees it to go and get it? I know as a child might say, okay, I'm from a decent home and all that, but look at me, I'm in the university. I'm prone to everything. I'm prone to the way I dress. Nobody question me. If I get into the class to read, nobody asks me. Nobody sees what I do. My parents are not here. So who are the role models these children see as they go out? It's the public, it's the society. They see it. And then, just like I said, everybody wants to belong. You want to be part of it. There are some of us, I have teenagers that when I see these teenagers, I'll just like, oh God, these ones are, the morals are there. Their parents are not there, but they are upholding it. And I have teenagers that like, I always like feel for the parents that I don't even know because these ones are out of it. You see it, and you see these children coming out from their parents' house dressed that way. Now, who got those dresses for them? Is it the mother that went to those shops now and bought those naked clothes for them? Or is it them that could save, or I don't know, or how they got the money to go to the shop and get those dresses for themselves and still come back and wear it in the house and walk out in the presence of the mother? The way we were modeled is just different from this. So I think in as much as the parents have done so much, the society still tells more on these children. It tells more on these children.
What are your thoughts, Madam?
For dressing, social media movies has a lot of influence, right? It does. But some mommies, the way some mommies dress too. The way some mommies dress. I go to a gym and some people will say, you shouldn't come to this gym like this, you must. I'm like, at a point, the one I go to, the security has to say, had to call me, please, this one is too much. Do you understand? And these are all mommies. These are not teenagers. These are not young adults. These are women in their 30s and their 40s. So, even I would say the social media has influenced the mommies
as well.
And now the children are taking it a notch higher.
That's funny. Okay, let's talk solution. This is out there. How do you think this epidemic can be coped?
For me, I think sensitization. We keep doing it. We keep talking. Those of us in the development space should take it upon ourselves to do this work, to talk to these children. Even when you go to the schools and you talk to them, you ask them questions. I mean, secondary schools, their responses always tell you what they have done, where they're coming from, what is happening. And at times, you see, when you talk to these children, you see some of them being sober. And at the end of the day, they come to you, Auntie, that thing you said, it's like you were talking about me, you're talking about me, this is what happened to me and all that. We've seen a lot of them. So I think sensitization, we keep on talking. Our children are out there. Our children are out there. Even those of us that feel that we are very good in parenting, we have done it well, our children will still go out. They will still meet people. So let's just keep on sensitizing these children. Let's keep on talking to these children. We don't leave everything to I tell people we don't leave everything to the government. If we leave everything to the government, we will not have enough. Let us on our own. That girl that you see along your streets that is misbehaving, call the girl, call the boy, talk to her, talk to him, tell him this way of life is not, it won't help you. If you have will I say testimonies about yourself, you can use yourself, you can use people around, you can play video just like she said. I remember when I was in secondary school, we had this, I was in the boarding school, there's this particular group that came to the school to sensitize us about HIV. They came with horrible videos. You know, those days when HIV started and all that, the video, there was no drugs, there was no medicine for it. So the impact was terrible on them. So they came with these videos of people that have been attacked by HIV and AIDS and all that. It was just so horrible. And looking at it with the what we were taught, how you can contact HIV and all that, till now it still rings in my head. That is when I was in secondary school. At times I would just flash back to those videos, and it really helped me. a lot growing up. So I think enough of sensitization. We shouldn't stop. We should keep on sensitizing these young ones. We should keep on talking to them. We can also use this social media that especially TikTok.
That's
They
the
are
most
very good
trending.
on TikTok and all that. We can use it as sensitization medium to sensitize them. We can also use influencers. And influencers are there. They are not only there to model wrong things. We can use our influencers to model good dressings, model good behaviors and all that. Put it out in social media, in TikTok, in Facebook and all that, where these young ones goes out, where they have it at the palm of their hand. They just have it. So when they scroll up to their phones, they see all these things. Enough sensitization, I
no.
think, is going to help us.
Madam Rose, what are your thoughts, please?
Thank you. First, government can do something. How? What is in our curriculum? The things you put in our curriculum that is being taught in schools from kindergarten age, it seems. And for you to change any generation, you have to start
From the
small.
mental.
And so, what is in our curriculum? If we see it as a problem, what is in our curriculum to change it? That's where government can come in. Religious bodies can step in. A lot of churches I know will do marriage counseling. Inside the marriage counseling, they should put a lot of it for parenting. They can put a lot of it for parenting. And then, for people that believe that this is a problem, they can begin to influence, like she said, social media, and bring a different version of issues. You understand? They can bring, and gradually it will begin to settle down. And most importantly, home. After you marry, you want to have a child. You need to have a parenting plan. You need to be intentional.
Okay.
Because a parent is given the destiny of a child to shape it. God has given us that role to shape the life of the child. And whatever you do at those early years, the impact will be seen later. Yeah, we want to get money, and money is the thing in the social media. I'll come and stand in somebody's car and take a picture and tell you and all of that, and big and flying first class and all of that. And nobody wants to be suffering. But that's not reality. For those early 8 years, if you don't have someone else that can help, you can step back a bit to give it that time. And after that, you go and chase the world. That's the most.
Thank you so much, Madam Rose. Thank you, Madam Oluchi, for your time and very thoughtful responses to these questions. At the end of the day, parenting is not just about paying school fees and finding food for your kids. It's more about shaping the minds of your children for the next generation. Your opinions are important. Please drop your thoughts and your opinion on the comment section. This is Unfiltered, still on this topic. See you next time. Bye.